It's honestly insane to think about that. It's already been 20 years. Like, it's nuts.
So incredible to see how much UDance has grown, but also the impact that it still has.
20 years of UDance, and we've only experienced, what, 2 or 3, and to think where they started and to think where they are today. If they go 20 more years, just imagine how many more families are going to be able to help.
I am so encouraged and optimistic about the future of our world because of the kids that I've gotten a chance to interact with here at the University of Delaware. Wow, 20 years, I can't believe it. My name is Joe McDonough, and I am president and co-founder of the Andrew McDonough Be Positive Foundation, and most importantly, Andrew and Allie's dad.
My son Andrew was 14 years old, played 4 games of soccer on a Saturday in January 2007. Just 48 hours later, he was diagnosed with leukemia, sepsis, and went into cardiac arrest. The doctor said my son wasn't going to live through the night. They revived him, and he lived 166 bonus days.
Andrew would be stunned. You know, I'd like to think he would expect such greatness, but I think that would have been like this level, not this level. And I think Andrew would just be floored that we're doing so much good in his name, and so many young people like himself. You know, Andrew never got to live beyond 14 years old, and here are young people, kids helping kids fight cancer. It's just so special. Not long after Andrew died, I came down to the University of Delaware and I had a meeting with the chapter presidents. I had been told by the university there was no dance marathon here, and I said to the chapter presidents, I understand there's not a dance marathon. And everyone in the room agreed with me, except one young lady, Carly Bergstein, president of AEFI, and she's shaking her head.
My name is Carly Bergstein, and I am the executive director for the Andrew McDonough Be Positive Foundation. I've worked at the Be Positive Foundation for over 13 years, and I'm also a proud University of Delaware alum, where I served as the president of Alpha Epsilon Phi in 2008 and graduated in 2009. It has been such an honor to be involved with UDance since day one, and watching UDance come up on their 20th year has been incredible.
Everyone else is saying there's no event, and this one student is saying there is. So it turns out there was a small event that was started by AEFI and SIGEP, and most people didn't know about it. So I met with Carly and her sisters, and they very generously welcomed a combined effort.
I remember that very first event. We had rented out Trabant multipurpose room A, B, and C, and it was put on by AEFI and SIGEP. And attendance was so low that we had to close off the dividers in the room to just make it one multi-purpose room, and we had to beg everybody to stay there all day. And nobody gave up after that.
And I said, look, I've got this 51-page manual from Penn State. Let's make this thing a big college-wide dance marathon. And I'll bring in the Be Positive heroes and the media.
And so to remember that very first UDance where the best entertainment act was, me doing stand-up comedy that I didn't prepare for, that was not good at all, to now having incredible acts and meaningful moments on stage and games and excitement all day long.
It really just feels incredible to get to carry the torch of a 20-year legacy. My name's Hugh McLaughlin. I'm fortunate enough to be a senior program manager with the Andrew McDonough Be Positive Foundation. I've been fortunate enough to work with the UDance crew for about the last 5 years now. It's really hard to believe that we're already at the 20-year anniversary for UDance. It's been really incredible to see what's been accomplished over those 20 years. Feels like you're really a part of a movement. Feels like you're a part of something that's just so much bigger than yourself.
My name is Katie Tyndall. I am the Family Assistance Program Manager, and I've been here about 4 years. As a 20-year childhood cancer survivor myself, I have a deep connection with the families and kids that we were able to assist thanks to UDance and the 20-year history behind it. I get to see firsthand how the funds that are raised go to help keep the families in their homes, have reliable transportation to and from appointments, and keep their lights on.
I'm Nikki Dombrowski, and I was one of the 2 co-executive directors of UDance 2018.
My name is Callie. I was a junior athletics chair and a senior athletics director for UDance. My senior year was UDance 2020.
where the organization has gotten to today is pretty surreal. It's incredible to see the way that it's lived on. And every now and again, I run into a family friend or maybe a neighbor who has recently started attending the University of Delaware. And I quickly learn that either they already know all about UDance or they're already involved in some capacity.
Time to remember that it's 20 plus years without Andrew. It's 20 years that have gone by where all of these kids didn't get a chance to grow up and have the lives that I had or that my friends had. And really reflecting on the amount of years and the time that has passed, it's been incredible to see Joe and the UDance community start to put something together that's going to better the future of children, the future of the cancer.
Graham. My son is a B positive hero, Aiden Graham. He is paired up with the hockey team. We've been a part of UDance now for, I believe, 3 years, and it's been pretty amazing.
My name is Amy Doggis. My husband John Doggis, our son Chase. We've been with UDance for 2.5, almost 3 years now. UDance has helped Chase throughout this whole journey that he's had. They've been there for him from day one. The support, Ben and everybody that has given him. We've met several times. We've done multiple activities with them. Ben was there to witness Chase ringing the bell, which was August this past year, so that was special. And we had a few other UDance people with us, and
they were a big help in making him feel more normal, especially when he's going through the rough treatments and just coming out of the hospital. Really big help. I mean, those guys, Ben and his guys, just blend right in with Chase.
yeah.
When Aiden was having his last lumbar puncture, some of the guys took time out of their day to come to the hospital. They found us and were there to listen to Aiden ring the bell, ringing it to get his last his last lumbar puncture. And there was a lot of delays in the day, and we ended up sitting there for a lot longer than anticipated. I offered the guys, hey, you guys can go home. I don't expect you guys to sit here and stay and wait. This is taking a lot longer than normal. They all said, nope, we are all staying. And to seeing about, I think it was like 15 of the hockey guys sitting in little tiny kids' chairs in the MRI waiting room until Aiden was done with his lumbar puncture. They were all there to hug him, support him, give him the love that he needed coming out of that sedation from that last lumbar puncture. And then they joined us for dinner or lunch afterwards. And it was just wonderful that, again, these college students took time out of their day to come hang out with us and make us feel just so loved and so welcome. And we can never thank them enough for that.
I think what has driven me is the support of my family and my faith. I can't accept that Andrew's gone. I know he is, but I want him to live on, and I want his life to have a greater purpose, and that being to help other children with cancer. I know what we do is not going to bring my son back, but it might help save other children's lives. And to be able to do it at my alma mater is super special. In his name, he'd be very proud. I tell myself that. I ask myself that a lot. It's hard to believe. It doesn't feel like it's been 20 years. One of the things that I cherish so much is not the amount of money raised, which is so important, but the people that I've met, both on the family side, kids with cancer, but the Delaware students. I get a chance to meet what I'll call kids, 18 years old, freshmen, and I see them through their time at Delaware, and now they're in their 30s, and I see them as adults and well into their career and having children, and it kind of gives me chills to think back that I've known these people in some capacity for half their lives. Yeah, I just want to thank UDance Exec Board and everyone who's been involved in UDance. You have made me such a proud fellow Blue Hen, and for all the children who have been so kind to that have come through here, you have no idea the impact, the profound impact you've made on their lives. So on behalf of my wife, Chris, and our daughter, Allie, and my son in heaven, thank you from the bottom of my heart.